Alright guys, what's going on? It's Jack. Welcome back to another video. I have some De-Atomizer Strike gameplay that I got from last night's stream, so I hope you guys enjoy that. But that's not exactly what this video here is about. I'm going to get straight to the point on this one, and it's all about the Xbox Series X pricing as well as the PS5 pricing. Now, in recent news, it's been officially kind of revealed by Sony that they're basically, long story short, it's Sony executive states that PS5 price is yet to be determined, and they are basically awaiting Xbox pricing. Now, I mean, I'm here to settle the debate once and for all because as we get closer to E3 and as we get closer and closer to the launch of the consoles, I mean, it gets more simple and simple in my eyes, okay? The consoles, the new consoles, we know as of right now there are two different code names for the Xbox Series X consoles. So there's going to be one that's more expensive and one that's less expensive. So it's going to be pretty much the same way that they handle their controller. You've got the Elite controller for those people that are serious in terms of their controller, like super serious, more than above average serious, and then they're going to treat their console the same way. So there's going to be one console version of the Xbox Series X that's going to be more expensive, and another one's going to be less expensive. So PS5, don't be surprised if PS5 actually takes a similar route. If not now, it'll be in the future, because from this console generation, the biggest thing that PlayStation had to learn was that backwards compatibility is something that means something to people. And not just because of the success of Xbox Game Pass, as well as the ability to be backwards compatible with games as well, and their success with that, but also because a lot of PlayStation fans were basically waiting for something like that forever. I mean, it's basically something that's important to everybody, period. It's as simple as that. So PlayStation's biggest lesson was backwards compatibility, and then obviously Xbox's biggest lesson is, like, don't try to force something down people's throats that they don't need, aka the Kinect. Because if the Xbox, now again, I'm not a biased person, I like both PlayStation and Xbox. I'm a gamer, I have both consoles right now as we speak. So, and I love them both dearly, and I love both of the franchises dearly, and I like what every single iteration of the consoles and the companies have to offer. However, with that being said, each one of them has their strengths and weaknesses. So with Xbox, I mean, if they launched their console with the same price tag as PS4 without the damn Kinect, I think this console generation would have been far more interesting and far more competitive than it was. But one thing that allowed Xbox to not catch up, but to gain a lot of ground, was the Xbox Game Pass. Simply because of the fact that not only is it a good deal, but it's also because of the fact that, well, you've got, long story short, you've got a lot of backwards compatible games on there. And from the original generation Xbox as well as the 360 and the Xbox One. So it means something to people, to consumers. So with that being said, with everything, when you put everything together, guys, they can't really go too high in price unless you get the more expensive version of the console. But in terms of the default console, like if you want the next generation console, it's not going to cost any more than $500 to $600. It's simple as that. Like, I honestly think that it's going to be maybe the more expensive version of the Xbox Series X might be slightly more than that, but I seriously doubt they'll go over anything over $600. Even with that being said, I think there's going to be a $500 version of the console and then a $600 version of the console. And you have to also take into account, like, what is going to be the major difference between the $500 to $600 console? Is it going to be memory based? What is it? Is it storage? Is it, like, there's got to be something else, because in terms of basic capabilities, they got to be more or less the same, or else it might piss a lot of fans off, you know. And that's the last thing. I think that's the one thing that they learned from last time. A lot of people were pissed with Xbox because they were relying on Xbox to do so much better from both a price range standpoint and, like, just from an overall gaming standpoint. Originally, Xbox One, the biggest thing was they were, in the beginning, they were less focused on games. And why do we buy consoles in the first place? It's all about games. So guys, there's no debating it. It's going to be no less than $500 and no more than $600. And what I mean $600 is specifically for the Xbox, for the more expensive version of the Xbox. There might be a $550, sure. I mean, $550 is definitely possible, so that's why I stated anywhere from $500 to $600. But honestly, if they go anything more than that, you guys are just better off getting a PC, especially now since PC is starting to get a lot of love, especially from the Xbox side of things. There's Game Pass for that as well, and of course, PC is the most powerful and customizable version of any, and upgradable version of any gaming platform that you could possibly get, and it's always going to be ahead of everything else. But they still, with that being said, even though consoles are slowly more and more becoming kind of like PCs, to a certain degree, depending on how you look at it, they still need to be they still need to be what they are intended to be in the first place, and that's console. So with that being said, guys, there's no way they're going to go above $600, especially with the more expensive version of the Xbox. So, and $500 always seems to be that sweet spot, especially when you compare it to last generation to this generation. So I mean, consoles used to be $300, and then they went to $400, and then, you know, I mean, seriously. And then with Xbox One X, they went to $500. But I wouldn't be surprised if the price again was $500 at launch, and then with the more expensive version of the console being $600 for Xbox. And then again, if Sony follows suit, they're going to do the same thing. And again, Sony doesn't really have that much, is not really the kind to follow. I mean, even though the article that I just mentioned in the beginning kind of seems that way, but with that being said, there's just common sense. You can't go too high and you can't go too low. You go too low, you're making yourself look hella cheap, and at the same time, you're gonna lose a ton of money, which unfortunately this is what it's all about. So I think $500 is a perfect sweet spot, with the more expensive version of the Xbox One or the Xbox Series X being $600. Simple as that. It would be pretty much, they'd be shooting themselves in the foot if they go any more than that. But anyway, guys, that's what I got for this video. Let me know down in the comment section what you think. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better. I'll see you guys on stream later today, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.